Yo, what's good, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the TheStankCast. This is episode 39, I believe. I'm your host, Ham Stank. He's your co-host, Craig MooMoo Cowie. Craig, say hello to the people.
What's happening, people?
Oh, fuck off. It's MooMoo's birthday today, everybody. Say happy birthday to Cowie. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah, round of applause for him. He's made it another year.
I've made
Well
it this
done.
long.
Well done, well done. Can you see it in the background? No, you can't really see it in the background, but there is birthday decorations and such up for the big man himself. As it's a special day today, the podcast might be a little bit shorter because we've got a little bit of celebrations going on later, so we might cut this one a little bit short. But today, what have we been up to, Kelly? What have you been up to recently?
I've actually been doing. Yeah, I've been doing absolutely nothing recently, mate. You know me. It's been fucking exceedingly tedious.
Well, that's exciting as always.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have thought about something to pretend I've done fun things, but I haven't.
Well, we did live the normal life, to be honest. The most exciting thing I've got going on. Well, you have it as well, bro.
Well, D&D.
Yeah, man.
bro.
We've got D&D to talk about. We played. We have been talking about playing Dungeons and Dragons for ages, right? And just never done it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that we just never got.
No, there's a reason why. It was because it was only ever me, you, and Josh.
Yeah.
So we're like, we can't really have one dungeon master and then just two people playing.
Yeah.
And then obviously Stuart from the gym came into our lives.
Oh, what a magnificent
What a guy.
man! What a magnificent man!
I remember when it happened. We were driving to the gym, and I can't remember how it came.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
What a magnificent goblin he is.
Oh, bro. Yeah, he played. FY, that's not him ripping into him. Like he played a goblin character.
Really good as well.
It was really good. Yeah, I can't
believable.
believe he ate my foot. As mental as that's going to sound, the bro ate my feet.
Yeah.
So basically, how I'm going to explain it. When it started, we were going to the gym. I picked Stuart up and we were going to the gym. Stuart's the guy that trains at the gym. Well, it's obviously me and Karis. And we were driving to the gym and we were talking about it. And I was like, just mentioned to him briefly. I was like, me and a couple of my pals, like, have obviously thought about doing Dungeons and Dragons because I know he's into that kind of stuff. And I was like, it would be pretty like cool, but obviously there's only ever three of us. And he was like, I'm actually DMing next weekend. And as soon as he said it, my head went boom, ding, and I was like, that's what we've been needing. It's a DM that we've been missing. And then I was like, Stuart, mate, sort us out here, bro. And then he was instantly game. Like,
I'm impressed Kara's got in on it as well. And she was in on it last night
and
as well.
the best prepped as well.
Yeah,
she
had
had the
it done.
sheet ready to go, facts, details, moveset, everything. Pissed off because Abdi else is fucking taking ages to set themselves up.
What, for like 2.5 hours yesterday making characters. I went into it knowing nothing, like didn't know who I wanted to be. Well, I did. I had an idea that I wanted to be like the Gollum style character of the group. But then I moved off it.
And now you're not. Now you're a fucking eagle.
Yeah, I'm an eagle person. I'm a bird man.
A bird person.
But yeah. But I wanted to go the Gollum style, but I didn't want to be useless.
Yeah,
you know
and that's the problem. Like I said, I should have known because I've played the game Baldur's Gate. Obviously, I don't know if you've actually played it, but it's basically like it's a new one that came out and it's really good. It's a huge game. It's got loads of stuff, but it's basically like
turn-based game. Isn't
it? It's basically like a D&D sort of style game.
Yeah,
and it's awesome, But I didn't realize even from playing that and then playing this, like I say, how actually difficult it is. And it's not as simple as just like even like the health points. I mean, you were talking literally earlier on about that, like how low your health is. And like Stuart, when we were playing the other game, I was like, yep, let's get stuck and I'm gonna fucking go and fight. I'm boom, instantly dead on the floor, dead.
The worst thing about that as well, you are the biggest character. Like,
yeah, which is annoying because I'm the biggest character yet. I've got fucking no health.
What is it you are? You're a Minotaur.
A Minotaur.
And the Minotaur comes away with like...
But he's a Highland Minotaur. So he's like... He's a Highland cow. Like ginger hair and like thick...
what's the name? What's your name?
It's MooMoo. It was actually Stuart that chose that, which is infuriatingly relevant.
Yeah, he just came up with it randomly. It was good because I just came up with the MooMoo thing.
Yeah, I was like, you're going to need to tell Steve that.
I love it. But... that was honestly those like 2.5 hours building the character and then playing that little battle scene was honestly some of the most fun I've had in like years.
It was so good.
Years.
Although fuck you for being glad when I died, you piece of shit.
But I told you, man, I've got an agenda. Like it's just the game's the game, man. I've got an agenda. Okay. I can't tell you what it is, so
it's definitely going to be to kill everyone at the end. You're definitely going to do a fucking Sheldon and just right at the end and murder you all.
It's not. Who picked you up? Nobody else did. Who stabilised it?
So you're just playing with me then. Just fucking let me die. Oh, but I'll help you out.
I never want you to know if I like you or want to kill you. It's one of them. Just don't get a companion. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to struggle on that because, like in real life, my guy's super socially awkward, which is a mad thing you get to choose. Like,
is it?
Yeah. Honestly, on my sheet it says that. It says like gets like incredibly awkward in social situations. It was one of the traits that you could choose. I was like,
Not to like Dungeons and Dragons, right, has always been labeled as like geeky and nerdy and stuff like that, and it is, right. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It is. Don't care, but see when you actually sit down and play it and go how in depth it is, man, it's ridiculous. Like the amount of things you can actually. I've got my sheet here. The amount of things, like, look how much paper is actually on this. Like, how much is like actually written. This is just spells.
What took me back was
and
like,
I've not even done most of it.
The fact that it was an hour. What did it look like? An hour it took us to have one battle last night.
Yeah, and it was one goblin.
Yeah, bro.
For
I
4
thought
people.
it was a case of like, here's a goblin. What do you do? Like, oh, Steve shoots a fireball, and I like headbutt it into fucking nowhere, and then that's it. Goblin dead. Next battle. But nah, Goblin's fighting back. Like I say, I tried to fucking teep kick him in the spleen, and he just sucked my foot. Yeah. My hoof. It just took the hoof in his mouth. Oh, it was so mental.
Josh just randomly launched your axe into a cave for no reason, or was it his axe?
It was his axe. I went and got it for him to try and be nice, and all it did was put me closer to the goblin, and just about got me killed.
I killed him though, so don't worry about it. The goblin.
I thought you meant me. I don't remember that. It was Josh that about fucking killed me.
No, I saved everyone. Oh, Josh shot you on
Josh shot me in the arrow.
Yeah,
in the arrow with an arrow.
Yeah.
That
was good. It was good fun, and
at some point when we'll do, it'll be funny to do like a
I
video
was just
of us
thinking,
playing 1A.
Like if we just video it and just put it on as a series, the Dungeons and Dragons thing, but it'd be cool to have like a board and stuff like that. Like I've seen
get
people,
a board for them, like
you get a board for like you can make your own, because it's like you make your own world. You can make like your own
like a woodland
and stuff.
bit and then like a bit on, and then that makes a lot of sense actually.
Because you can get your own characters and paint them. I'm not all about that, to be fair.
Is that not Warhammer? Or
you can get Warhammer ones as well, but you can get your own ones for D&D as well.
Oh, crazy! You
can make your own characters and stuff like that. I'm not into all that, to be fair, but it's a lot. That's a lot of work, and artistic stuff I'm not great at.
Yeah, me neither.
I just like coming up with things on the spot.
Yeah, but I'm so game to play it. We're playing it on Monday, and it's going to be so lit.
Yeah, honestly, I'm too excited for it.
I know that's going to sound mad. People are going to be like, he's going to call Druggins and Dungeons. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm
having a total mare. I'm just so pumped. It's my birthday. Yeah, I'm having a mad Dungeons and Dragons like fucking. Oh.
Yeah, that's your present for next week. You get a D&D day.
Oh yeah, great. On a Monday, smashing.
I've just spilled on myself.
It's gonna be too good. Like say Stuart, even from our play along yesterday, like he's gonna be a sick dungeon master as well. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he gets right into the character as well, so it's good.
It was fun. I said that to my dad. I was like, I'm gonna be playing Dungeons and Dragons, and he just looked at me funny.
And so did mine.
Yeah, I was like, you can't judge me.
Yeah, so did mine.
Tell me it's dorky, I don't care. I'm playing it regardless.
My brother won't believe that I'm even sat here talking about it right now.
He's gonna have to.
We'll go off D&D, even though it was absolutely amazing yesterday, and I can't wait to play it again. But we'll move off that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I wanted to say, sorry, was a shout out to the NHS staff. My boy Jake has been ill recently, and he was super ill. What was it, last week? A week ago.
Yeah, like all of last.
Yeah, he got rushed. He's been off. He works with me, and he's been off work for like 10 days or something because he got rushed to hospital on the Sunday. He got blue lighted to hospital, and they got him on a drip and got him sorted out like instant and rapid. He messaged me today because he knew we were recording. He said he wanted me to say it for him. To say thank you to the NHS staff. He knows you work for them.
Tell me he's welcome.
Yeah, he actually said to me like how he's just now my hero. I've never appreciated him more.
So you know what though? It's weird when that happens. I've been into like people's houses and they do that and they thank me. They're like, I could have died without the NHS, and I'm like thanks a lot, but that wasn't me.
No,
like that. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? Like
that was someone who went to school for a long time.
Yeah. I'm the machine fixer, Manny. Like I'm not. I didn't save your life at all. Like I'm sorry, but
it all works. It's all one machine, man.
Yeah,
that's why people say thanks to you as well.
Yeah,
because it's all one machine that keeps it working.
Yeah, true. But well, yeah, I remember when I stayed in Dundee when they did the clapping round of applause. Honestly, I had a big bay window. Honestly, every Thursday I would open the window. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I try my best.
Just in your way.
Yeah. I did honestly just stand at the window and look out and listen to it, and be like, it's all for me.
This is what I've been waiting for. I knew I'd choose the right career.
Yeah. And now nobody claps for me ever.
No, well, you had it during the pandemic.
You clapped for me at the start of the podcast, so I'll give you that.
It's your birthday, man.
Yeah.
I'm not heartless.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, but thanks for the NHS for keeping my boy Jake safe and getting him back safe to us.
Yeah.
They always do. They always do well by him on the lookout for him.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about them, but they do. Do a lot of good job. Like my brother, And obviously Stacey, when they've always had rave reviews about how the staff have been when they had like Rory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were always highly
You find the
impressed
people
with
that complain are the people that cause the issues.
Yeah.
You people that find the people that are like hating on the NHS and that are the ones that are going in and causing issues, like screaming at nurses and things like that. But it's because everyone demands special treatment.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're the main character in their own story. And it's just not like that. When you're in that big a hospital, there's so much going on. You are just a piece of the puzzle that they're trying to solve that day.
I seen a video, and it was this colourful haired girl, is all I'm going to need to say. On
I love them.
Yeah, on TikTok, like moaning about. She was moaning about 9 wells or something like that, and she was like posting thing. And one of the videos she posted, it was like, obviously in the private rooms, in this thingy rooms, they've got like their bed and they get like a chair at the side as well. And there was like, she took a picture of the fact that there was like clothes like on the ground behind the chair, and she was like moaning, being like, "Look at this mess." And everyone was just like, "How about you pick up your fucking clothes then, eh?" Like, and like, how are you gonna sit and moan about 9 wells hospital because you've left your shite lying around? Like,
What, they were her clothes?
Yeah. Bro, who else was there gonna be?
This is the reason she might even post that video is if there was somebody else's clothes, I could understand.
I'm gonna show you her profile later. And
No.
You'll
I'm
be
fully
fully
on your
aware
side
it was
here.
hers.
I just needed context.
I think they were just expecting that, like, because they were in there for a few days, like the cleaners would clean it all up for them. Like if they left their clothes lying around, the
not
cleaners were
fucking
just
hotel,
maids
man.
for them. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're meant to be unwell. Like the last thing you should be concerned about if you're there is the fact that
if you're
fucking
getting up
there's
and
clothes.
complaining about the fact that nobody's hung your clothes up for you, then you shouldn't be in the hospital.
Well, I think to be fair, this one I think she was in for having a kid or something like that. So I think it was like
People like that shouldn't have kids.
Yeah. Preach. Yeah, I'm with you.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm game. No, you're right actually.
I'm
But-
game.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna go do something about it.
Take her kids off her. I'm now a social worker.
Oh god,
Yeah.
my bad.
Oh, wobble. But yeah, so I seen that and it honestly partially annoyed me. I was like, what do you expect? Like people expect like it's a social service that's having the money drained from it constantly, and then people are like, oh, but she didn't pick up my clothes that I left lying. Mental.
Well, the good that they do outweighs the bad anyway.
Yeah,
So shout out to the
for
NHS for everything.
For sure.
For everything they do for everyone, especially my boy Jake.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to run my restaurant with him.
Not for no.
Well, I did for last
you
week.
did, yeah, but not for long periods of time.
No, well, shattered,
I've
man.
seen how stressful it's been. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like extra hours this week. It was rough.
Mhm.
But I'm glad to have him back next Wednesday anyway.
Yeah.
He couldn't be here. He said he was on the phone to me today. He was going to come, but he was still a bit rough, so didn't bother.
Yeah.
Like still a bit weak, so he
Yeah,
didn't
Jake,
want to come
we're missing you as keyboard man, eh?
Yeah,
we're needing
missing your inputs.
Yeah, we're needing our what's his name, Jamie? Yeah, we're
Yeah.
needing our own Jamie.
We've done what 39 episodes now. I think Jake's only ever made 2 of them.
Smashing.
Calling
I'm
him out.
39 now.
Yes, 39. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
39's
yeah.
not too bad. It's still fucking none though.
No, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing, and that's a great point to get onto.
That was my fucking
That's
sick,
it.
dude.
This guy's switching on a podcast mode. You know what I mean?
I've been on it since the new year. Like
He's
I'm
learning.
fucking on it.
Boys learning. Switching over to what you're saying there is, we're still learning. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're still getting better at this. We talk shite. That's the name of the game. We just talk shite,
Yeah.
and we're going to keep talking shite until we find a niche or something we
Enjoy talking about
discussing
a lot.
about a lot, and that we can talk in depth about.
Like-
So
I was just gonna say it's hard to find, like, not hard to find, but it's gonna take a while to find like the niche thing, especially because of how busy we both are
Yeah.
outside. Like we don't have unlimited time to like explore and find out
we
what the
can't
thing's
just
gonna
sit here
be.
for
So
6 days a week
what
recording.
we'll do is we'll come in, we'll spend like a couple hours chatting total shit, which I enjoy regardless.
Yeah.
And then eventually some of the shit's gonna be fun, and then we'll be like, yeah, let's talk that shit a lot more.
Yeah.
Or people will be like, yeah, it's funny when you talk that shit, and I'll be like, let's go then.
Well,
So-
that's what we do. Is we're just going to throw stuff at the wall,
Mhm.
see what sticks, and we'll find a niche. We've got loads of plans, like you said,
Mhm.
just no time to do them right
Yeah.
now.
And for anybody that's got ideas, like anybody like things that people are like, that was really, I enjoyed listening and thinking about that,
Yeah.
fucking let us know.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let us know. So
Yeah. Get the comments going up on the YouTube and stuff like that as well, because that all helps. Feedback all helps to get us making better
Yeah.
content.
Well, we'll
Like
finally
the clips
got
that are going
yeah.
to start coming out in the next week that yourself have made. Cowie's
Yeah.
now taking over, doing the TikToks, making the clips and all that. And from the first ones you've got, you even admit yourself, from the first ones that
Yeah.
we're releasing now to the ones that you're about to be releasing,
yeah.
night and day, you know what I mean? So
Well,
it
yeah,
just
I'm gonna
things.
start releasing a lot and like getting some of the older clips just out so we can start getting them going and then getting some of the newer ones. Because, the newer ones are much better. They're much better edited. They look nicer. Our conversations are just better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
well, we're getting more comfortable at it.
Steve, let's talk about the UFC.
yeah. The UFC's had nothing going on, by the way.
Because it's been thingied over.
Oh, well, Molly McCann got her first win.
Her
first. See, this is why I don't talk about UFC all the time. She got her first sub.
Yeah, it might have been actually. I don't know. It's her
It
first
was
win.
her first sub.
We'll go first win in a while anyway. Is it her
Was
first?
it not her first sub win? No,
I actually don't know.
I thought that was her first submission win in the UFC.
It might have been. Pretty good though. To be fair, that was an armbar, which is the thing that cunts keep getting her with.
Yeah.
But it's because she dropped down a weight.
Yeah, I know.
Which was very super necessary.
Yeah, because she was the smallest in that weight class by quite a way.
She was just like not like.
She was short, man. She's still
short.
She
was. It was more that it was just she was like not.
I think there was only one fighter shorter than her in that weight class.
Yeah, like she wasn't completely trimmed, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like she was like a little bit. She could have lost some. Yeah. Yeah, fair. She was a bit of a meatball.
Just go with the nickname, man.
I'll go with it. But yeah, she looked solid. Like, looked fair.
No,
that's the only bit I paid attention to. Other than that, I'm not gonna lie.
Wasn't
Trash
involved.
Card.
Yeah, I wasn't involved in that card. Yeah,
nah.
I did put it on, but I was so shattered I just fell asleep, man.
Yeah, I think it was 11:30. I gave up, turned it off, and just went to my bed because they started earlier.
Yeah, I think I started watching about 11:30 to be fair. And switched off about 12:30. Or fell asleep about 12:30.
11:30 it was garbage, so I was embedding myself here.
I did see a good knockout before I went to sleep though. So I can't remember which one it was. Like I said, I just watched like 2 fights.
Oh, well.
They're on it. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I dragged you totally off of whatever topic you're on there. I feel like you're on a UFC mindlessly for no reason.
Yeah, but that's how easy it is for me to go straight down that alley, you know what I mean?
See, but I normally let you go with that. I'm going to try and bring it back here.
Yeah, but back to the point before was just that we talk shite. And we're going to keep talking shite and come along for the ride.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, if you don't want to hear us talk shite, then I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to listen.
People were like, one of the things I heard was people were like, nobody's going to want to hear us talk about what we did back in the schools. Because that was like one of the first...
That said nobody would want to hear that.
Yeah, like what we were doing back in school times and stuff like that. And I get that, like just hearing us reminisce about old times at school.
Unless it's funny shit that happened.
Yeah, and it was like back in like the first few episodes that we'd done, maybe like episode 2 or 3 or something like that. And I was just thinking that when I heard that feedback, I was like, "You're mental if you think that's all we're going to talk about every week for like 2 hours."
You think that I want to talk about the days when I was a fat wee virgin? Like, do you think that's what I want to fucking do? That's not what I want to be discussing constantly. Eh? Like, fucking hell. Avoid.
If anything, that's at the back of the list.
Exactly.
That was when we had absolutely nothing to talk about.
If I start whipping out that part, you know it's getting tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my thought process was. That was like first 2 episodes or something. I was like, we had nothing. We were just starting off. We were just going with what we knew, and that was reminiscing about old times. But going forward now, we have subjects that we talk about. We're going to be doing segments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not today because it's his birthday.
Yeah.
Because we've got some celebrations to do. But apart from that, no, that was my point on that. Yeah. You brought that up actually. Thanks.
Yeah, I did. No, that's all right. It was just a one point. Like I say, I feel like some people might just be like, "What the fuck are these two on about?" And at the point, it's like, "Well, that's exactly the point."
I love it.
No, yeah. But then I'm thinking, it's like, well, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're on about either. But that's the whole point. Like,
nah, man. With that, the whole thing is just trying something new, isn't it? Like,
yeah, definitely.
It was just a project that I came up with.
If anything, it's in
last year.
I've started enjoying like doing the editing. Like, it's quite good learning how to do all that shit. And like, once you like get like a good clip made, you're like, oh, that's actually pretty fucking cool how it all works out and stuff. It's something that's like, it's a skill to be added that I actually enjoy doing as well.
But it's infuriating when it goes wrong. Like,
oh, bro,
to a new level infuriating. Like, you can sit at I sat at a laptop for like 4 or 5 hours just trying to edit like a podcast, and now it takes me like 15-20 minutes.
Believe the other day, mind when we were sitting here and I'm trying to make clips and you were trying to edit 37 and both of us are fucking sitting
just sat there livid,
absolute seething because nothing's going to plan. It was fucking mental. But then as soon as it does go to plan, it's instantly fucking, this is great.
Well, and what people don't think about, right, or they don't know about, is the upload and download time for every single goddamn clip you've got to send to somebody is ridiculous.
4K videos are like 20 gig. Like, they're like 20 gig, bro.
They're huge.
Yeah. The download could be alright, but the uploads, damn. Like, it has to be overnight for me, but then again, it would help if my internet wasn't absolutely pipe as well.
Yeah, true, actually.
What is that all about?
I head back to my place to upload a video. It takes 10 minutes. I come here, it takes 2.5 hours.
I'm genuinely debating just firing into my brother's for a wee visit to fucking upload this, because he gets fucking like 300 meg.
Just drive round and sit in the driveway.
Just outside the drive.
What's up, Andrew?
Fucking like just parking this driving. No, I'm not coming in. Just need your Wi-Fi, bro.
It's not something I would put out of your.
Sorry.
It's not something I would put out of your wheelhouse. What's been happening at the gym?
What's been happening? Oh, to be fair, it's been a lot of like build up to Castus 2 coming along.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. But it's been a lot of build up towards that, getting some of the fights together. Obviously, not that I have much involvement in that, but that's kind of like what like some of the guys in the gym are fighting, so they've been getting ready and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's been good. Marcus
Did you not have
is
Dylan
fighting.
round?
Yeah, we had Dylan round for this. I didn't think that's what the route you meant, but yeah, well we did. We had James Dillon from Higher Level round to do a
nice.
seminar.
I wasn't meaning anything when I said that. I was just like, what's going on with the gym?
I thought you were meaning like the guys fighting and stuff like that. I didn't think you meant just in general. But
No, Castus is what, 2 months away?
March 2nd. Forfar Town Hall.
Okay, so
Forfar Town Hall? Montrose Town Hall. Oh my fucking god.
A month
I was in
away,
Forfar
right,
today. I got myself confused. Montrose Town Hall. That's
okay,
what.
I'm not
going
to be here for that.
Where are you going to be?
Stag do.
Damn.
My brother's stag do.
You can stream it again. From
I'll
the
have
stag
to,
do.
I'm raging.
But yeah, well we did have we had Dylan round. When was it?
Yeah, I've totally segmented right in between your talking there. Yeah,
Dylan
was
I'm
round.
game for that. Like it's always an awesome experience when Dylan comes down.
Was that not Wednesday?
It's always really good.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Came in Wednesday and done a little bit of like a deep half seminar, which might not make any sense to you when I say that, but yeah, deep half is like
rude.
What's deep half, Steve?
Yeah, tell me.
Nah, deep half. It's just a sort of position in jiu-jitsu that's been like used quite a lot just now to like people use it to like wrestle up from the bottom and things like that, or like enter legs and stuff like that. Like it's just a good position that a lot of people use, but it's
show me in the chair. Show me.
No, because it's not going to look like anything. Like it's you just look.
Throw
like
your legs up.
Lying on my back, holding like this.
Throw your legs up and show me. Nah, do that. I'm really joking.
I would just literally just lie there. It wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, he came in and taught us a seminar, and I was absolutely spot on. Like some really good details that are going to be really helpful towards some of my games. So yeah.
Nice, man.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
How long was the seminar? Like
2 hours. Well, see, it was 3 hours, but the first hour's MMA. And then there's 2 hours of gi jiu-jitsu.
Does that mean I'm going to get to see Kerry in MMA?
That means I only did the jiu-jitsu bit. I didn't even go for the first half of the seminar.
This guy, man.
It's my hips, bro. That's my excuse that I use just now. I mean, he didn't do any really much.
What do I have to do to you to unlock the anger to make you want to go and fight somebody?
Nothing, bro. You can't make me that angry.
What if I kill Beans?
Then it's not me that's going to be coming after you.
Yeah, it is. We both know it is as well.
Yeah, no, I will. Yeah. But you wouldn't. You don't have that in you. You couldn't do that.
No, I couldn't. Not to Beans, anyway.
You could. I don't know if I'd be friends with you if you were the kind of guy that could just do that.
No, I felt bad actually even making the joke.
Yeah. Sorry, he doesn't give a fuck right now.
Nah, he wasn't listening. Not that he ever does, to be fair.
Nah.
I would have actually liked to have seen the way Dylan was in the gym. That would have been quite cool. I did contemplate coming up, but I didn't want to just come up for the
just to watch. You look like you were from another gym scoping out and just running away after.
Use them in my next seminar. Use them in my next podcast.
He's really good in the way, like he's just like he just comes away with all the good little details.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, a lot of the time, if you're like even if you're like watching something and you see someone doing a technique, like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could maybe like redo that, or you look it over, but it's in like. It's just some of the little bits that's what you missed that really make and you're just like, how's this not working? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And then like say you get in the seminar and he just gives, even with the striking, because I watched some of the MMA seminar, and even as someone that like say isn't massively into it and wasn't doing it, I was watching, I was being like, oh fuck yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, that's actually on point, like fair play. So and it kind of.
What about like weight shifting and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was just about like the way he was on about like mixing up which shots were like your sort of setup shots, which one was your powerful shots, and the way he was like tying that in with how you like angle off and things. It was just there's a couple of things he said that were just when I was listening, I was like, oh fucking hell, that's actually really good. Like, not that I'm ever going to use it, but like that's made sense in my brain. Not a lot of things make sense in my brain.
Are really effective.
Yeah,
like really effective. The very simple basics of being able to come out on angles and move back your balance and your movement and stuff is next level. People forget about it when they get too excited and rush in it.
That's why I don't do it, because I don't have that much balance. So I do a sport that involves I can just fall over and I'm still allowed to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lying on my back a lot.
It'll be forever my regret that I never did boxing when I was younger. What you did.
Forever my regret that I didn't start earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever watched UFC, I was like, this is amazing. It was like UFC 90 something. And I watched it and I think it was like 15. 15 years old, something like that. And I was like, this would be amazing, but obviously nothing ever came of it. And like, they just, it wasn't that big a thing.
No, it
Do
wasn't.
you know what I
over
mean?
here,
And
no.
obviously, and even back then, especially, it was still just like, oh, those thugs in the cage, like
Yeah.
smashing each other out. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah, like really, like 10 years ago. No, what? 14 years ago. You like, yeah, it sounds a bit mad, doesn't it? But
happy birthday.
14 years ago, there was not a lot of big MMA and jiu-jitsu gyms
Yeah,
in
I didn't
Scotland.
know any.
Like,
I don't know any.
give props to America for that. They were a lot further forward that style there because they have
But
Brazil,
well, that's just because that's where
Mexico.
it came from. Like Brazil, it came
Yeah.
from Brazil
But
over
you still
to
got to give
America.
them.
So
They've brought it to like the mainstream. Scotland have been quite late to it, and
Yeah.
it's only in like the last like 5-6 years you've seen real
it's definitely over the last 5 years
Competitive.
like exploded.
competitive.
and-
The only real competitive Scottish athletes have started to come forward in UFC now.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
but,
who was there before?
well, Stevie Ray, he was there before. I don't know how long. I generally don't know how long. Fucking.
I like Stevie Ray a
Paul
lot,
Craig's
so
been in it.
I don't really want to say anything bad here, but Stevie Ray that competitive?
Yeah. He beat fucking.
I know.
What do you call him? Michael. It's gonna sound bad now because I've been like, yeah, and then I can't even name the guy that he beat because
phone's
my
up
brain's
there.
going mental. But yeah, for sure. And then obviously he's then went off to PFL where he's like beat fucking Anthony Pettis and stuff
Yes.
like that. He was in the final for the £1 million.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
But that's even still. That was what he's been in it. 15 years now, something like that. Fighting Stevie Ray.
I don't know how long he's been UFC. Like I said, I don't know.
No,
I
he
don't
wasn't
know.
in the UFC 15 years.
No, but like I said, I don't know how long of it he's been in the UFC.
I'm just thinking like really exploded. You're only starting like I said, the last 5-6 years. You're only starting to see like the flurry of Scottish
Yeah.
people come through now. Like you got your Chris Duncans who started to come through. You got your Casey
Yeah.
O'Neills who have started to come through. Paul Craig's obviously in the way. You got Stevie Ray who's there as well. But before then, you weren't 10-15 years ago. You weren't seeing any of that.
Like you said, I think I think MMA just wasn't such a huge thing. Do you know what I mean? Like it
Which
wasn't.
is that's
it's-
what
it's-
for my original point.
Yeah.
It's madness to see how much it has now grown in Scotland.
Yeah.
That was my original point.
Like I said, I think especially the jiu-jitsu side of it, it's like jiu-jitsu in general, like over the
It-
last
yeah,
5
has
years, has
rocketed.
really exploded thanks to in large part thanks to like so Gordon Ryan and stuff like that from being so prevalent. But yeah, it's mental. Like even like I've been training. I've been training jiu-jitsu for like 5 years, like 5.5 years. And even for me, the difference in the level from like say like the first comp I went to then seeing some of the people at the comps now, like it's savage. Like,
And with people getting their kids and that into it younger and younger, it's only going to get bigger.
Well, they were
Only gonna
thinking
get bigger.
they're thinking that they're gonna have to add so in jiu-jitsu you can only be if you're under 18 you can only get up to a blue belt.
Yeah.
So you get obviously your kids color belts and then 16 you become juvenile.
Yeah.
And then you get a juvenile blue belt and so on and so forth. But there's like some of these kids that are coming in, they've trained since like 4 years old, and then they're 17 years old, so they've had like 13 years worth of training, and they're sitting with a blue belt on, and you're like, bro, you know what I mean? And then you go and turn up to a competition, and some 18-year-old pure texts you, and you're like, oh god. But then you're like, it's because you're some blue belt that's been like training like longer than some black belts.
That's the game, man. Isn't it?
But that's why what I was saying, they're now they're trying to
Putting
add
new-
a purple belt division to juveniles.
Okay.
So you can get a juvenile purple, obviously, to stop that, because you get athletes like there's a girl called Helena. Is it Helena or Helena? I don't know which one. Helena Crevar, and she's like from America. She's from John Danaher's
Yeah.
students, and she's like 15, maybe just turned 16. So she's a blue belt, and she just rinses everybody, and but rinses people. And she like beats black belts and stuff like that as well. But it's because she's trained for so long. She's also like a pure robot, like a jiu-jitsu
Oh, is
robot.
she?
Yeah, like she's just mental. So, but it's like you're seeing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I got fucking knee barred by some like fucking 18-year-old kid at one of this comps I went to, but then I was speaking to his coach, and his coach was like, he's been training since he was like 5. I was like,
Wow.
quality.
That's
Yeah,
mad.
I was like, quality. But the guy's good. The kid was good. He won the absolutes for like that day as well and stuff like that. So I wasn't really that upset about getting beat by him.
That's crazy. Like, you need that for the sport to take off, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
you
need
definitely
the, you
do.
need the grassroots, like
The youth
young,
being into it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
young people into the grassroots of just doing even one martial art, then two, then picking it
Mhm.
up. You need that, and you need them to be training constantly
Yeah.
for us to get like, because you want somebody who's the top of the crop. You know what I mean? We really want somebody who's top of the crop, Scottish, flying
Yeah.
the flag, brings a belt home.
Well, you've
UFC in Glasgow,
Oh, mate.
slamming.
you've got to think like, see if you look back to like I say, we're gonna not shouting back to in school, but like when we were in school, who did you know that did MMA or that was like could fight like fought?
Boxers.
Other than boxers,
boxers.
But boxers has obviously been going like boxers are a huge thing.
That was it.
But now it's like, well, you've seen it at Castis, a little Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
The kid's like 16 years old, man. You've seen him. Like the technique was on point, total straight savage, like just relentless. Like
could take a hit, got the dog in him.
And you just don't, you know what I mean? You didn't really see a lot of that when we were younger.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And you're seeing it then. And I see even with the kids at the gym, like doing the jiu-jitsu classes, and then it's like, obviously I've seen them from when they were like maybe like 6 years old, and they're like 11, 12 years old now, and I'm watching them, I'm like, you're really good at this, eh? Like scary good at this for being like, they're like miniature people. Like they're just like mini people doing mad techniques, and you're like, this is so crazy. Like
they're like little mini Spider-Men.
They are
like, literally flip over people in that, like mental.
Because they've got unlimited cardio as well.
Yeah.
They're just like fucking like say we went to a couple of years ago to the kids Euros, and yeah, some of the kids there were just mental. Like they're just like full speed beer flipping over each other going mental on him, but then at the same time like the technique's on point.
They'll be
like
stupid
not
strong
flailing.
as
They're
well.
just like on point with the technique, and you're like, that's like I wish I was as good as you, and you're about 9. Like you're like, what is that all about?
Oh no.
Although one thing it does breed is mental. We when we were at that Euros competition, right, 2 parents full on threw down scrapping fist fight in the middle of the podium, like over kids and acting like that, because 2 of them had like honestly because they'd had an argument.
You can only tell that's going to happen when you involve people's kids and they're scrapping it out on the mats. Their mum and dad on the side are going to be going mental.
But it's that's the thing, like it's not really a great place to be getting into a fight either. Like where the chances are a large proportion of this room know how to fight, so it's like you guarantee if you throw a punch, he's probably going to throw one back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, these 2.
You put that many egos in a room, someone's going to collide with someone, man.
Well, like I say, you can imagine what it's like. Even you'll have known it, even from like football and like hockey and that. Like some of the parents just get like
fired
way too into it. Yeah, it's
up.
like if their child loses this, like their life's over, and you're like, just fucking relax, man. They're trying to have fun, bro.
It was normally the goalie in football. The goalie would always have a parent stood behind his goal. So every time you went through and missed or something, he's throwing digs at you. Parents would get way too involved then. Yeah, every time you would try and hit the keeper, because you always play the game, you know what I mean? You'd always get a wee dig or something like that. Every time you was running a basket, I got threatened one time by an old man. Yeah, as I was saying, I used to play as a striker. Yeah. So like the ball, there was this one time the ball got played over the top. I was chasing it 1-on-1 with the goalie. The goalie was running out of his box, and I slid, and I didn't purposely go through his knee, but you know what I mean. These things happen. These things just happen, bro. You know what I mean. The boy ended up getting carried off crying, injured, and normally the goalie has somebody stood behind their net, like an adult or something, just talking to them the whole game because it's boring. Yeah, and this guy's. Obviously, Grandad stayed there. We got a corner later on, and as we're doing with the corner, he was like, "That was my grandson. You fucking injured. He said, I'll be seeing you after the game." I was like, "That's my dad over there. I'll be stood behind him. No worries, man."
Fuck that, man. 8-year-old dude. You should have just taken your chances, man.
Bro, I was about 13 or 14 or something.
Wipe his legs out, man. Just start chopping at the fucking feet, man.
Boy would never caught me anyway, man.
Yeah,
no worries. No worries. But as soon as he saw the size of my dad, he was like, "No," just walked away. He was
it's funny.
I'm okay.
Oh my goodness.
You good now?
Yeah, I got a bit of a funny throat there. Yeah, and it made me totally forget what I was going to say. It was about football as well, so you probably would have enjoyed that. I was actually carry on your fucking thing there. It was going to be football related anyway. Going to be something. So, but football, kicking balls and stuff. Yeah, wait.
Man United won, just saying.
Did they actually? Oh, 4-3, wasn't it?
Nothing.
Am I thinking of the wrong game?
It was 4-2 Wolves against Chelsea.
Man United had a game where they won 4-3, did they not recently?
Yeah, against Wolves, yeah.
You said Chelsea?
Yeah, they just played them this week. But Man United's last game before this game was Wolves. And we won 4-3, and that went to the last minute. And then we just won again yesterday, 3-0 against West Ham. I would show you my screensaver, my new wallpaper, but it's on my phone.
Well, point to that then, actually, because what I have noticed, obviously, what we're saying about like the things that people enjoy hearing, right? One thing that there's been, when we're talking about in the podcast, it's just made me think when you're on about the football there, because the thing that multiple people have now said to me is wanting to be involved in the conversation with sports being better than the other. Which one, like either football being easier, when I said snooker and darts weren't real sports, and then when I said that
rugby, get fired, people get
fired
some
up people
about
get annoyed about that one. So out of interest, right, if there is I would be very much more keen to discuss which sports are harder than the other ones, and Not like telling us to make up for it right now, but for other people that have opinions on that matter, give us your opinion. I'm very keen to debate that.
I think we make a tier list, right, of how hard sports are, and if we disagree, we can like go at it.
How many tiers are there going to be?
5.
What's it going to be? A, B, C, D. Oh no,
it'll be like
S. I'm thinking of. I've got Gran Turismo in my head, mate. I'm thinking of like the Gran Turismo card ranks.
Nah, I was just thinking like you label them yourself. So by like the hardest sport, really hard, kind of hard, not so hard, easy.
Jurgen could do it.
Yeah,
like bulls.
Something like that. It'll be like that. Like what?
Like bulls.
Yeah, my gran literally was a champion in bulls, so yeah, I'll take that. And Luke's a champion in bulls. Oh, I just got that. Damn.
Take your time.
No, like
for example, right? I'm gonna just off the cuff. I'm gonna give you 5 sports here. Give me. You've got. I'm gonna give you 5 sports. You've got to pick them in order, okay?
Right. Don't give me them. Yeah, okay. Are you going to give me them randomly?
Would you rather all of them, or I give you one, then you pick a spot?
Yeah, I would rather that. I would rather that.
Right. So I'm going to give you 5 of them.
This is blind ranking.
Yeah, blind ranking. Yes. So right. First, stop moving that mic, man. Your fucking phone's everywhere. I can't help it. This will be coming. So.
What is it with
fucking hell?
Both of us.
Right. Just made me cough laughing
podcast.
So hard there.
What we'll do is cut that bit out.
Net.
Yeah,
so, the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do polo.
On a horse. How hard is polo on a horse?
Rate that 1 to 5. 1 being the hardest, 5 being the easiest.
5.
The easiest?
1 being the hardest, sorry. 1.
Okay. Basketball.
4. Basketball's easy, bro.
Ice hockey.
2.
Ooh. So we've got 1, 2, 4. The other one's going to be tennis.
3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the other one, let's see. Oh, wait, what space you've got left? You've only got 5 left. So it's good. Yeah. So it's going to be the easiest one. This is the easiest one. Football.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. Finally enough, I knew that was coming. I knew which sport you were going to pick before you did.
Yeah, you did actually. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So, what sports? Because I'll rank them on my opinions on that. What was it? Polo, football.
Right, I said polo, ice hockey, tennis, basketball, and football. But if I was being real, I would say basketball is below football. But
is this because we're getting back onto you just need to pick up and run?
Well, you don't need to run. You can dribbling. I get is a little bit more difficult, but
because by FYI,
I did play both.
My big brother
not well, but
definitely disagrees on the
yeah, of course he does.
on the thing on the bit
don't care
the catching and the kicking.
Why?
Which one's easier?
Why?
I don't know. I can't remember. Oh wait, was it that he disagreed?
Yeah,
I'm waiting to start beef here. He definitely said it was. I'm sure he said
I'll have
it
him
was
on.
that he disagreed on. Well, it's because he was the one that brought up about the American football stuff. Because he loves American football. Obviously.
Yeah.
He had the
but the
issues
natural instinct for when something is being thrown at you is to catch it.
We need to not get onto this because this will get out of hand again.
We'll
get somebody on to have this debate with us though.
If you weren't cucking me with that last one, I would have said basketball was 5, football was 4, and tennis was 3.
Yeah, because tennis is surprisingly hard.
Yeah, of course.
I've tried to play tennis and even just getting it to go over the net and then touch inside the thing. Hard enough, my guy.
Me and Big Andy, you used to play tennis in the fronts.
I came with you that one time and tried to play it, and it was I couldn't. Yeah. I just honestly
me and Andy
couldn't.
were okay at it, but it's a fucking hard sport, man.
Because some of the people in our year played it, like Michael Fairley and stuff like that played it.
Yeah. And then you had Johnny O'Mara, who was a couple of years below us, who won. Did he not win Wimbledon?
Juniors? Oh, I don't think you. Oh, juniors. I don't think he
won
won Wimbledon, my friend.
Did he not?
He did some real good stuff anyway.
Yeah, he's done some impressive things actually. But tennis is difficult. So that would be my list. Polo, ice hockey, because you don't think you're going to polo 1 because you're not going to get much more difficult than riding a horse and hitting a ball with a stick.
Okay.
With a long stick with a mallet on the end. You're not going to. That's pretty difficult. Ice hockey because you're literally moving at high speeds on knives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to avoid being smashed into boards by huge men that just want to fight.
And you're literally allowed to throw down and have a fight if you want.
And the goal is literally the size of the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So, and every 30 seconds, a new wave of guys come on to just start.
Yeah, because it's pace and
ice
hockey,
man, just changing lines all the time.
See, I was trying to think that. I was trying to think between my 1 and 2 would be the same as yours, but I'm trying to think if I think ice hockey would be harder because I really can't skate, but I think I could hang on to a horse. But then I'm thinking, because you've actually got to steer that the horse would just fuck off that way, and I wouldn't even be able to get near the polo ball. At least if in ice skates I could go that direction.
You're relying on a creature in polo. You know what I mean? You have to
a well trained one, to be fair.
Yeah, you have to control it though, but you're still relying on something else. Whereas in ice hockey, it's just you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go polo, ice hockey, and what were the ones? Basketball, football, and
tennis.
I'm then gonna go definitely tennis. I'm gonna start a fight here.
You're gonna go basketball, football. You think playing basketball is harder than playing football?
Only because I'm gonna gauge this by saying I'm probably better at football than I am at basketball, and I'm pretty shocking at both. I think. Because even if you just ran with the basketball, maybe not. But the fact that you've got to incorporate those bounces in as well.
I think you've got to take into consideration a full game of football, actual 90s. If you're playing basketball, you're playing on a full court every time. If you're playing football, the way you've played football is in you play in the penalty box.
Hey, bro, hey.
And you play
I've played fives.
I know you've played fives, but that's still not a real game of football.
7-a-side, my guy. You were there, Coca-Cola League, my fucking friend.
You stood in the goal, bro.
Yeah, exactly, and I was lit, bro.
You were lit. You were, yeah. But I'm talking 11-a-side.
Yeah.
Full game of football.
I honestly don't even think in my life I've played a full game of 11-a-side before. But then actually I've never played a full game of basketball.
Not me either.
It would be hard between those two because, like I say, the fact that
close, they're definitely the bottom two though.
The ball as well as just running with it, and then it's
take dribbling into consideration with a football at your feet. It's hard, really hard. Dribbling with a ball in your hands.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna say basketball's easier, but I'm better at football. Probably just because I played it more. That's probably a terrible reason. Actually, I've just played it more. I'm gonna find some spicy sports to add.
Americans are gonna hate us.
Yeah, but well. To be fair, the other thing I was going to bring up to you was tipping, which doesn't go in Americans' favour either. So tipping,
like what? Like people tipping the rubbish?
No. Like tipping for food.
Sorry,
tipping for food. Yeah. I briefly, since we're going to rip Americans, I'm just going to bring up the fact that that is horrific as well. By the way, Americans.
Yeah, they don't get paid.
No
they don't
pay.
Get paid. It's
work on tips, or they get a small wage and then they get paid on their tips, and then people will they've now got this mad tipping culture where people are it's almost expected you have to, and then I see a lot of people arguing about it, and it's funny because you see the Americans and they're like, oh, just don't be such a cheapskate and tip, that's how we make our money, and I'm like, do you know what, when they say that I'm like, fair enough, that makes a lot of sense, I don't want to be the reason you're not making money, so I'd probably tip you. But then the British people and the Europeans come along and they go, how about you just tell the people you work for to fucking pay you properly?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than
taking it from every other person. Yeah, why not take it from the guy who's making all the money?
Exactly. I'm paying him a bunch of money. Get him to give you some of it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even because in America the food's cheaper or some shit.
No, it's not.
Do you know what I mean? They'll charge the same price, then they expect you to tip for them. And don't get me wrong, you're fully aware. I tip. I tip every time. But in all seriousness, tipping is supposed to be, as I said to you earlier, for exceptional service.
Which I give.
And I other than at the Porte, I can't remember the last time I got exceptional service. Do you know what I mean? You get good service and you decent service, but I tip purely just to be polite. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But if it's becoming a thing where it's almost you must tip, that's crazy.
No,
tell your boss to pay you properly.
People don't want to do things they are expected to do. Does that make sense? Yeah. People don't really feel comfortable, especially when tipping originally started as a way of paying. It did start as a way of showing your appreciation for the staff. You know what I mean? If I worked on the tips I got, I'd be homeless. Genuinely, be on the street.
Yeah, and that's why I understand why people tip them in America. But it's at the same time, it's America speed up a bit. Get with the fucking. Give it a fucking program. I got an Irish there. Fucking hell, channeling my inner McGregor there. Yeah,
to be sure.
To be sure. Steve's fucking on it with the Irish. Jeez, you're fucking loving that, bro.
Oh, I can't help it.
But yeah, no, it's do you know,
Gordon Bennett, man.
Get.
I wasn't meant to be Irish, by the way.
Americans, the key is get the fucking program, pay your staff properly, and stop expecting everybody to pay your fucking staff for you.
Yeah,
Simple as
exactly. It's the corporate people.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just don't want to pay you, man. That's all
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
fucking
Stop
mental.
why are you attacking the everyday person to take more money off them? Take it off your boss.
Exactly. And do you know what? If you didn't, like I say, as you said, people don't see, because it doesn't feel like you're helping somebody out. Like, it doesn't feel like you're doing a good thing for someone when it's just like, it's expected.
No.
Whereas when you're the one that's like, it's maybe a bit shallow, but at the same time, when you're the one that's then deciding like, they've given good service, so I think they deserve more, and you're giving it, people are more inclined to give it, as you said. Whereas when it's expected, you're just like, well,
it's also like,
because you're not doing anything to warrant it.
It's also like in America, if that's how they earn tips, right? You're supposed to get tips for, like you say, exceptional service, going out your way, being really hospitable. But the people in America nowadays, they won't do that. It'll be the bog standard service they give, and they expect it to still get tipped anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to do your job properly. Hospitality is about providing a service, about making the person feel comfortable, feel special.
Yeah.
And you get, like, I've worked with a lot of waitresses who do that, and they get a lot of tips. Like, my ex was really good at it in Phonab. Ha, funnily enough. So she got loads of tips.
Oh, very good with the tip, was she?
Fuck yeah, no. But you do get really good waitresses who are really good at making people feel like they're the most important people there that day.
And that's
then you get waitresses who couldn't give a toss. And then they wonder why did I get less tips than the other
and it's
people?
like, why should you, and that's the thing, is like, why should you get a tip if she's only getting a tip and she's trying way harder than you are?
Well, it's a big thing in hospitality. Like, when I was up at Phonab, the tips are all split equally, right? It's like completely equal over the board, no matter what. And it was like...
See, I'm not about that life.
No, and it was including like... I'm going to get hate, but it was including like the housekeepers and all this stuff like that, who got tips in the rooms anyway.
Yeah.
But then they would still take tips off of like the dinner service, which they had no part in. It should be segmented into that, and the hospitality team, as in the kitchen and the waiting staff, should be one, and then that should be split 50-50. I would imagine, but on hours you work and stuff like that, not just if you work here you get that.
As far as I'm concerned, like if I'm tipping somebody, I'm tipping the person that's dealing with me. I'm tipping them because of how they've treated me in this scenario. And yes, I agree with like it's a hard one to go with, because I also agree with I'm then also tipping the chef because he cooked my food. But then it's hard to be like, no, you two have to split that. Like, that's a hard thing to manage. Which is why I get why.
Which is why, as a chef, I say it's easier just to do who's on service that night. Whatever tips you get that night, split it between the team that night, and it's done. And then the team on that night have got the tips that they deserve for that night, because we all work together to put in a good service, rather than one person walking away with £60 tips and the kitchen staff walking away with nothing. You know what I mean?
Like you say, it's if you're expecting me to pay over and above, then you need to give me service that's over and above.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're just going to give me basic service, I'll give you the basic pay. I'll give you what you're asking me for. You've told me that costs £15. I'll give you £15.
Yeah.
Then if you go over and above to do more for me, then I will pay over and above for you. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I see it.
No, so it's
I just want to slag off Americans again. You know.
Nah, it's a messed up culture that is actually, to be fair. But
like, pay your fucking staff, bro.
Even still in Europe, it's a big thing. Tips, tips go wild.
And I'm happy to give tips. Like I say, I'm happy to give tips. It's just because
all the ladies
it's polite. But oh, net.
On that bombshell, though, we will call this pod a thing. Call it there.
Call it a thing.
Well, it is a thing. But we will call this pod there because we've got some celebrations to get to. So, cheers, guys, for listening. Cheers for being with me again.
Happy birthday outro now. Happy birthday to ya.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And my throat's gone, otherwise I would have sang it with you.
Fair.
Cheers, everybody, for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. And peace.
Peace.